All right, guys, we're live here from Fort Lauderdale, beautiful Fort Lauderdale, Florida here. And it is time for the Thanksgiving matchup preview. But before I dive into that, I just want to take a second and say what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for Jared not knowing what he's doing in this league and basically handing me a W last week. I'm thankful for Steve. I'm thankful for what he brings to the table in this league, and that's basically a punching bag. I'm thankful for Tony Jr. and John Vetri basically not doing anything to improve their teams, without which I wouldn't be able to just run roughshod through this league because they're actually both really good at drafting, and then they don't do anything. So here's to you guys. Now, I'm also thankful for Tony Sr. drafting a quarterback in the first round every year. Wow. I mean, just keep it up, man. Keep doing it. Good stuff, man. Really good stuff. I'm thankful for, I can't forget about Joe, who just thrives on mediocrity. Joe's just dying to finish in sixth place. That's what he's looking for. So not a true competitor, and I'm thankful for that, Joe. I'm thankful for Brad being too busy with his part-time job, working 20 hours a week to actually put any effort in. And so basically handing me a W this week. So there you go, guys. Those are just some of the things that I'm thankful for in this league. And, of course, thankful for Jared being the weasel. And you know what? Can't forget this one. Really thankful for Jason making it back this year so that we can do Best Friends Bowl Part 2. That's how it's going to go, guys. It's going to be me versus Jason in the end because we're the two best players in this league. Now, the first matchup, I got Brad Part-Timer Hilton. And, you know, I got to say, I'm not intimidated at all. First of all, Golden Tate may not even play, and even if he does, you trust Daniel Jones to give him the ball. I love my matchups. Have not been more confident about a week all season long. I'm going to steamroll Brad. I'm going to beat him like a Salvation Army drum. This one's going to be easy. Bold prediction in this one. David Montgomery outscores any player on Brad's team today en route to me getting the W. Going with my heart with David Montgomery. My head says to play Jonathan Williams, but I'm going to go with David Opportunity. He's going to get it done. Now, we've got Jared versus Joe in a battle for, middle of the league type thing. Really a must win for Joe. If Joe loses this thing, he could be right back in the GD race. So right in the thick of it with Steve and Senior playing this week, but we're going to get to that last. That's going to be the last matchup we go through. Now, Russell Wilson, for as amazing as he's really had 3 mega blow-up games, and other than that, he's been kind of meh this season. In fact, in 4 out of his last 5, he has failed to hit 17 fantasy points, despite having some easy matchups. Actually, that's 5 out of his last 6. My apologies. That is awful. Russell Wilson is getting borderline droppable at this point. But, everybody's scared to make a move on a big name, so Jared's just going to keep rolling them out there and keep losing games. That's fine by me. Now, Jarvis Landry at Pitt, love the matchup. I think Jarvis Landry eats. Alvin Kamara obviously should be good at Atlanta, but he really hasn't been what he's supposed to be. Not real sure why Jared keeps rolling Ryan Griffin out there. I mean, he's averaging like 20 yards a game, so I guess he's just hoping that he gets lucky with a touchdown every week. But, what are the odds? He's caught touchdowns in 3 out of his last 4 or something. What are the odds that continues with a guy that's seeing 3 targets a week? Come on, Jerry, get your head out of your ass. Now, on Joe's side of things, you guys know it's the same old story. Joe's got Nick Chubb and George Kittle, and the rest of his team is trash. And he doesn't even really have George Kittle because he's playing at Baltimore. So, yikes. I don't want any part of the Ravens. I don't want to face their defense. I don't want to play a defense against that offense. I want no part of the Ravens right now. In fact, I'm really hoping somebody knocks Reese out of the playoffs because I really don't want to face Lamar Jackson. Not sure what in the world Joe's thinking about with LaShawn McCoy. There's not really much else to say there. My bold prediction in this one is going to be that George Kittle fails to hit 6 fantasy points at Baltimore. He's going to have his worst week in a long time. en route to Jared getting the W despite himself. Ryan Griffin might very well outscore George Kittle this week. Now, we got Reese versus Tony Jr. in a battle, which is just fantastic because one of them has to lose. We love this, guys. One of these guys has to lose. Now, of course, Reese is the Fighting Lamar Jacksons, and they're playing a ferocious Niners defense. And Tony Jr. is the Fighting Christian Crusaders with Christian McCaffrey. And McCaffrey's going to get Tony this dub. I mean, my bold prediction in this one is that Christian McCaffrey's going to go for more points than Lamar Jackson. And, sorry, but McCaffrey against the Redskins, I don't see them having an answer for him. Do you? So I'm going to go ahead and just, hey, CMC, man, that guy's an animal. Representing white running backs everywhere. Good work, CMC. Now, really not a whole lot to say about this other than that. The Bears defense ought to be great against some guy named Blow today. The Lions are, is that right? They're rolling out a quarterback named Blow? I mean, they are on their third string, so we got to give them a little bit of a break. But, man, that is awful. Great snag there, Reese, Bears defense. If only somebody like Tony Sr. would have picked them up when he was told to, they wouldn't be out there. But regardless, Tony Jr. is going to win this one because of Christian McCaffrey. I mean, McCaffrey against the Redskins is arguably the top matchup of the week other than Michael Thomas against the Falcons today. So now we're going to go King Minion Steve versus 6511. So Vetri versus Jason. In another great situation for me. One of you guys has to lose. And it should be a tight one. This is recently Jason has been scoring a ton of points. Vetri has not been doing much at all, but he found a way to win anyway. Thanks to Tony Jr. just going with the big name kicker in a terrible matchup, Greg Zuerlein, because he's scared to death to make a move. Look, the Rams offense isn't what it was last year. Zuerlein's no longer a must start every week, Tony. Get rid of him. It's time to play the matchup. Now, Jason with Breeze at Atlanta today, we're going to know real quick what kind of week it's going to be for old Jason here. Breeze ought to light up the Falcons, but he didn't exactly light them up a few weeks ago when they played. So I'm not 100% down with that. We'll see. Now, Fournette has a brutal matchup, but he's way over projected in this one. 14.5 against the Bucs, who are just dominant against running backs. I think that's a stupid projection. Tyreek Hill, though, against the Raiders ought to be fantastic. Derrick Henry ought to be fantastic, even though it's a tough matchup. Carolina D ought to be great. Now, on to John's side of things. John's team is garbage, as we've previously discussed. He essentially, if he doesn't get 4 touchdowns from Aaron Jones, he has no chance in this one. My bold prediction in this one is going to be, I'm going to say that Deshaun Watson finishes with 20-plus fantasy points at home against the Patriots. I'm not scared of the Patriots defense. Every time they play somebody that's any good, they get trashed. And, of course, that's only been one time this season because they only played one good team all year. So my bold prediction, Deshaun Watson over 20. But Jason's going to win anyway because I think Drew Brees gets it done today. So Jason gets the W. Now, on to the matchup of the year so far. And it might feel like winter to some of you. But here in Fort Lauderdale, it's a warm summer's eve. Because we have the Douche Bowl. Steve versus Senior. Yikes. These are two horribly managed teams. And really, Steve has only himself to blame for being in this position because he traded James Conner with Chris Godwin. Now, when you look at how things played out, if Steve wouldn't have done that, Senior would not be in this position. He would have lost last week. So instead, he won, and now they're playing place with only 2 weeks left to go. So I hate Kyler Murray, even against the Rams. Don't like it. hate Kareem Hunt at Pitt, hate Melvin Gordon at Denver. Just an awful set of matchups with really bad players to boot. Steve's team, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and say bold prediction this week. Steve does not cross 70 points this week. Senior's going to get this dub easy. You got my homeboy at home against the Raiders coming off of a bye. Yikes, man, that has 35 points written all over it. Baby Chark, he's going to get it done. Chris Godwin, nobody's going to be able to cover him in Jacksonville, especially with A.J. Bouye draped on Mike Evans. Love me some Devin Singletary today. Love me some Miles Sanders today. Senior's going to get this dub, and that's how it's going to go. Sorry, guys, and, there's your video. Now, happy Thanksgiving. Thankful for all you losers. And I will see you on Tuesday for the recap after I absolutely demolish Brad this week.